Hi everybody, a thought about Parshat Vayeitzei, Genesis chapter 28 verses 10 through 12. We're talking about Jacob and the ladder in his dream. Angels are going up, angels are coming down. So two questions. Who is Jacob and what is this ladder? So these are my thoughts. Chabad.org has a great article talking about what the ladder represents and what it means. I definitely suggest checking it out. So here's my thought. Let's start with Jacob. Who is he? He's the third of the forefathers. He follows Abraham and Isaac, and then you get Jacob. Now, he is also the first forefather who has all of his children follow in his footsteps. We have the 12 tribes from him. Abraham has Ishmael, who goes off the path. Isaac has Esau, who goes off the path. Jacob is the only one of the forefathers that all the kids stay on the Jewish path. So that's kind of interesting. Now, something else, he represents balance. What does that mean? Now, Abraham represents chesed, loving kindness. He was the guy who welcomed the angels. He does everything for everybody. He represents chesed, loving kindness. Now, Isaac, he represents gevura, strength, but not physical strength, restraint kind of strength. Now, when he was taken to be bound and sacrificed to God, which didn't happen, he was already an adult. He wasn't a kid. He let himself be bound by Abraham, who was really old by then. And he could have walked away from the whole thing easily, but he restrained himself and let himself be bound to be a sacrifice. And of course, we know that never happened. He never became that sacrifice. So he represents gevura, restraint. Now, Jacob represents tiferet, which is beauty. What is beauty? Beauty is the ability to find the balance between giving it all, chesed, and gevura, holding yourself back. So that balance is called beauty, tiferet. So Jacob is that balance, which is very, very interesting. So it's an example would be when you're raising kids. How much do you give them and how much do you hold back? If you give them too much, they don't know how to do for themselves. They don't know where the cereal is for breakfast. If you give everything all the time, they can't figure stuff out for themselves. But if you never give them anything, they can't. That's not healthy either. So that balance is incredibly important. And Jacob is able to find that balance. So this is Jacob. This is where the Jewish people essentially come from. Now, what is the ladder? Let's look at the ladder. The ladder is being shown to him in a dream as he's about to leave the land of Israel. He's about to leave the land of Israel to go find a wife and create a family, have a family, have kids. These kids will move on in with the Jewish tradition. Now, he is being shown this ladder. Angels are going up, angels are going down. I'm going to switch the order. I'm going to talk about angels coming down and angels going up as the Jewish mission. What is the Jewish mission? Jacob's job and our job as the Jewish people are like the angels coming down and going up. Okay, we're bringing Hashem, God, into our world, bringing the Torah of the heavens, because there's Torah, but down to earth. We're applying the Torah. Torah is great, but it's not for the heavens. The angels don't need to keep kosher. The angels don't keep Shabbat. We need these things. So we bring these mitzvot into the world, right? And then we take these mitzvot, transform our physical world with these mitzvot. And then through doing that, we make this world a holy place. And then we offer it back to Hashem as a place we want God to be a part of. We want godliness. We want this place to be a place that Hashem, God, would want to be a part of. So we're taking the Torah and the mitzvot from the heavens, applying it to our physical world, and offering it back up again. That's our job as the Jewish people, to transform the physical into holy. We're spiritualizing. I'm not sure it's a verb or not. We're spiritualizing the physical world. That's our job. Believe it or not, there you go. So an example would be giving a sandwich to a homeless person. Now, it's a physical act, but it's a very spiritual act, because you're giving somebody who doesn't have something to keep them alive, to keep them going. It's a physical act, but it's also, you're spiritualizing a physical act. Another example is Shabbat. Okay, you can drink wine and light candles any day of the week. There's nothing special about it. But if it's done on a Friday night, you say Kiddush over the wine, and first you'd light the candles, and you say the blessing over the candles, and you say the blessing over the wine. You're spiritualizing a physical action. You are making a physical object holy, and your actions become holy, even though we think, the physical world, what do we need for? We need it. We need to uplift it. That's our job. So we take the physical world and we spiritualize it. So what Jacob is being shown here is this ladder. This is your job as you leave the land of Israel, to go find a wife and create a family and create the Jewish people. This is what your family is job's going to be for millennia. That's our job as the Jewish people. Now, what's funny is later in the Torah, we're called the stiff-necked people, as not necessarily a compliment, but truth is, I've been thinking about it. It really is quite necessary for us to be a stiff-necked people. It gives us the power to push through and do what needs to be done. Sometimes we feel like the world is a crazy place. How can we push through and make the physical, spiritual place? This world is crazy sometimes. But being a stiff-necked people gives us a certain, power. A little bit of stubbornness gets us a little bit further than just being, a little, passive. So use our stiff-neckedness to move us forward, make this place a place that Hashem wants to be a part of. And, Shabbat's coming. I hope you have some good food planned. And if you don't have anything planned, go buy it. It's amazing what's out there. Enjoy Shabbat and have a good next week. Take care.